As someone walking around Budapest, or really anywhere in Hungary, I'm curious by nature. I look around and I notice things, all kinds of things. And sometimes that curiosity gets the better of me, and I open my mouth. I will ask anybody anything, respectfully, if I am curious enough. It's just how my brain is wired. Everything looks like a story to me. And then on top of that, I'm a black man walking around, which is its own thing depending on the day. But I don't really move through the world as such. The curiosity comes first. So the other day I'm on a tram, and we pull up to a stop. There's a guy out in the street waiting. He doesn't get on it. He just stands there. Hungarian, maybe early 30s, dressed totally plain, nothing flashy. We catch each other through the window, the way you do. Then I glance down at his shirt. It was an image of Tupac. And I just smiled, because that guy will never know that I actually met Tupac once. He showed up at an outdoor festival I was playing, made his way backstage, and we ended up talking for a good while, just hanging out. There's even a picture of us from that night floating around somewhere. To that man on the street, Tupac is a face on a shirt. To me, he's actually somebody I talked with. Same person, two completely different worlds. Looking at each other through a pane of glass for about 4 seconds. And that little moment set my head going, because it isn't the first time the city has done that to me. Years ago, I was seeing a girl here, and we would take her dog out and walk around her neighborhood. One day, she needed to take her dog to the vet, and the vet happened to be a black man. So of course, I got to talking to him because that's what I do. And he told me he came here as a student years back and just never left. This was home now. Around that same time, somebody showed me videos of a singer everybody here seemed to know. And I figured he was just a funny guy on TV. Turns out he came to Hungary to study law before any of that. And once a friend brought me to a summer festival and introduced me to a band. And the woman out front had been born in Ghana to a Hungarian mother and came here as a teenager to find that side of herself. Sina. She became one of the most recognized voices in the country. I did not know any of these stories when they were happening. I just kept bumping into the same quiet truth over and over. So eventually I just started pulling the thread. And it goes back so much further than I ever imagined. If you want the real details, the names, the history, the whole thing, I put it all on an article in my website. But here's the short version. A lot of it traces to the old days, behind the Iron Curtain, when Hungary handed out scholarships to students all over Africa. And plenty of them stayed and built lives. That vet was one chapter in a story decades older than him. And it runs back further still. There was a black soldier in the army of Austria-Hungary who fought just to be allowed to call himself Hungarian. And more than a century before that, a man stolen out of Africa as a child who became one of the most respected minds in the whole empire. A friend of the emperor. They were always here. People love to worry about outsiders showing up, but the outsiders have been part of this place the whole time. That's what I love about being alive in a place like this, raising a son in a place like this. You're never as far from a stranger as you think. That guy on the street had a piece of my world on his chest, and he will never know I got a piece of his. My name is Ray. This is Magyar Minute. We spend so much time deciding who belongs here, and we miss the best part, that we have been quietly belonging to each other the whole time. Look closer.